In the wild world of Rick and Morty, anything can happen. But this week, the show threw in a twist that no one saw coming. Two of Hollywood's biggest directors, James Gunn and Zack Snyder, made surprise appearances as over-the-top versions of themselves. Yes, you heard that right. These two industry giants teamed up to take part in a hilarious, self-parodying episode that's got fans talking. But how did this all come together? And what does it mean for Rick and Morty? Let's dive in and find out. Welcome back, everyone. If you're a fan of Rick and Morty, you know the show never shies away from some insane cameos. But this latest episode, titled Ricker Than Fiction, took things to a whole new level. This time, they brought in James Gunn and Zack Snyder. Yes, the masterminds behind the DC universe and some of the most iconic superhero films of all time. So how did this wild crossover happen? And why were these two huge names so willing to poke fun at themselves? Let's break it down. It all started with a simple idea. The writers wanted to skewer Hollywood and the power of big franchises. And who better to poke fun at than the very people creating those franchises? Enter James Gunn, the CEO of DC Studios and director of Superman, and Zack Snyder, the man behind the legendary Man of Steel. Scott Marder, the executive producer of Rick and Morty, explains that the idea of having Gunn and Snyder on the show was a no-brainer. Both of those guys watched the show during their downtime, he says. They were thrilled to be a part of the world, and they didn't hold back. They laughed at everything we threw at them. And it wasn't just a cameo for the sake of it. Gunn and Snyder weren't just having fun on screen, they were completely in on the joke. The episode starts with Rick and Morty, disillusioned by their favorite movie franchise, Maximum Velocitree, heading over to the Warner Brothers lot to confront James Gunn. And let's just say, things get weird. Ricker Than Fiction doesn't just stop at cameos. The episode dives deep into the meta-ness of fan discourse about franchises, sequels, and what makes for a truly iconic film. At the Warner Bros. Cafeteria, Gunn and Snyder trade barbs about each other's superhero work, with Snyder mocking Gunn's Superman for not doing enough punching, and of course, mocking the general DC superhero tone. Snyder even has a hilarious line where he refers to Rick Sanchez as the smartest man in the universe, throwing shade at the entire superhero genre, while showing off his creative wit. This whole situation becomes a battleground for movie ideologies, where Rick and Morty, along with the ever-present chaos of Jerry, hijack the movie-lizer to rewrite the movie's ending. They create their own villains and, in the end, outdo Gunn at his own game. But not without the hilarious consequence of Gunn ending up crying over their creative triumph. What really makes this cameo moment even more amazing is how it came together behind the scenes. Marta shares that when they reached out to Gunn, they were fully expecting him to be busy working on Superman. But instead, he jumped right in. Gunn didn't hesitate. He immediately greenlit the appearance, and even made sure his involvement wouldn't affect his duties at Warner Brothers. In fact, the day after wrapping up principal production on Superman, Gunn found time to step into the recording booth for Rick and Morty. Talk about dedication. And Snyder wasn't far behind, bringing his signature charm and wit to the role. Both of them recorded their lines back to back, and the whole experience felt like a celebration of creativity between the two directors. Now, what does this all mean for fans of the show? Well, for one, it's a massive love letter to fans who obsess over movie franchises and the inner workings of Hollywood. Rick and Morty's chaotic adventure isn't just a fun plotline, but a sharp commentary on how easy it is to criticize movies from the comfort of our couches. But making a film, creating a universe, it's no small task. The show strikes a perfect balance of poking fun at Hollywood while respecting the complexity of creating something big. The response from fans has been overwhelmingly positive, with many calling the episode a return to the classic Rick and Morty formula. Fun, fast-paced, and packed with hilarious, surprising moments. And we can't forget about the viral moment when Gunn and Snyder took a picture together after recording their lines, keeping the whole cameo a tightly kept secret until the episode aired. With Gunn now a part of the Rick and Morty canon, who knows what could happen next? He may have been shot at the end of the episode, but this is Rick and Morty we're talking about. Anything is possible, right? And as for Snyder, well, his love for the show seems so strong, but he's already asking if he can come back for more appearances. It looks like these two Hollywood giants may be in the Rick and Morty universe for the long haul. So what did you think of this epic cameo? Did James Gunn and Zack Snyder knock it out of the park? Or do you think they should have gone even further with the jokes? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content on Rick and Morty and all your favorite shows. You won't want to miss what we have coming up next.